but what are the rules of engagement? So Dave, what are the rules here today?
The rules are, in the light brigade, they've got to get round, it's a normal race, there's 30 points for the winner, and things like that. And after the race of the light ones, any cars that aren't pushed into the centre lose points. So the aim is to get as many cars to finish as we can after we've beat them up, of course. And then what's left and scattered around the track, get into the middle, otherwise we're going to lose points on that. So we need the points in the light brigade to get a good start for the rest of them.
And any special tactics that you have?
Yeah, we got some racers, we got some blockers, we got some out-and-out crashers. The crashers have really got to do their job. It's quite easy just to race around. So if they do it properly, it should work. It should work.
So to see what's in store for us today, first of all, we have the Light Brigade consisting of Metros. Then we'll be moving on to the Infantry consisting of vehicles up to 1650cc. And last but not least, we have the all-important tanks. So let's see some of these cars in action and let the battle commence.
Civil War 3 then, about to get underway. The Metros, the Light Brigade are out first. Remember, the white cars are from the north, the red cars are from the south, and the front row of the grid. Andy Robinson in 236 for the north, 311, Danny Smithson for the south, and away they go. The track here at Hensford in Cannock is slippery. That shouldn't be too much of a problem for the Metros, but already 1 and 2 get sideways. 148 Ian Redden for the north. Danny Verrills ploughs into him. More golf into the fence as well. Simon Needles involved in there as well. Oh dear, now let's work it out. 3 of each, I think there. 3 north, 3 south. Brian Webb gets away in 283. An on-bay battle. 198 Marcus Goldsmith got involved in all that. Now 148 Ian Redden gets speared off onto the centre of the circuit. And Brian Webb in 283 continues. 236 leads though. That's Andy Robinson for the north. And Brian Webb now latching onto the back of Simon Needle. Steams into the back of number 70. Brian Hayward in 59 being given some attention as well. Simon Needle spun around. He should be able to rejoin. And this is half the battle here. You've got to keep going and make sure you get points for your team. Basher Broad gets spun around there. John Broad facing the wrong way, facing the oncoming traffic as the rest of them come across the line. Mark Shaw gets spun out there in 74. 79 backwards into the Armco. That's Adrian Clifton. That's one of the southern cars, remember, if it's red. And now the north are in trouble because there 312 Greg Cheeseman gets rid of Turkey. 36 Steve Burkett, complete with the turkey-shaped fin plate, and he's still going. Now Cheeseman gets knocked aside. Another wrecking trade in prospect here because Turkey latches onto the back of one of the southern cars. Aaron Cornish involved, big shot there on Turkey, knocking him round, and a spin as well for another of the northern drivers, Shane Stevenson. On they go, treble 6, Dan Lucas coming under pressure there from Rob Mills. Onto the back straight they go. Will Walmsley in 14 getting out of the way. Expect a shot on the back of him, and he gets one from Rob Mills. Turkey now sets about 551. Simon Want and does him head on as well. Good shot there on the Metro van. That's the closest you'll get to material, I think, in this category. And Simon Want found wanting, facing the wrong way as there 363 James Bully tries to carry on. Turkey now getting more attention from Simon Want. He rejoins though, back into the race, keeping the car going, getting points for the team, gets a shot on the rear though. 114 ploughs into him, that's Glenn Beavis. And Turkey spun aside now. Also in trouble there, Shane Stevenson. Look at the back of the car, he's had a real blitz there. Now Glenn Beavis gets turned aside. The southern car carries on though. Now the north lead at the moment, it's a northern car leading the race, but there are more southern cars placed for the points. Big heap of southern Metros there, look. 3 against 1 as in the meantime 590 Lee Dimmick steams in on 647. Danny Verrills is a casualty of all of that. Dimmick gets a shot as well there by Martin Butt. Dimmick goes around, sitting target for a T-bone there, but he's going to be able to get out of the way. Now look at that, number 14 Will Walmsley being steamed aside by James Bully. Look at the back of the car, one of the shortest ever Metros, and it still goes, and another fantastic blitz on the back there from Rob Mills. Will Walmsley's car is about 2 feet shorter than God intended a Metro to be, and it still goes. Look at this. It's quicker backwards than forwards. Whoops, into the Armco he goes. He's not giving up. He's still going, as in the meantime, Dan Lucas turns through in treble 6. He makes his way now onto the back straight. James Bully, though, sets about him, turns him aside, and 363 James Bully for the south gets rid of the northern car. Dan Lucas sitting in the middle of the road now carries on, and Will Walmsley is still going. He deserves some points for this, if nothing else. There's not much car left around him, but he's still going. It's not that easy to control. Round it goes. Oh, dear. Back into the fence. If he can keep going there, he might just salvage something. We've had the checkered flag. We've had the red flag to end the race. It's a win for the north with 236 Andy Robinson victorious. But the south get more points. 140 for the south and 90 points for the north. So can the north fight back? If they can, it's going to be in the infantry. This, then, the second race of the day. It's underway. Traditionally, the South very strong in this class. An early drama there for the North. Look, 104 Mick Siddles gets turned aside by 190 Dominic Gumbleton. Peter Corbett in 470 spins in the background as well. And 51 there, Worsty. John Wollstonecroft, the Buxton star, gets turned around. Clipped head on as well by Mush. Sonny Sherwood in 348. And 162 rejoining Brett Fiddler. Meantime, they battle on. 37 there, Phil Woskett. 801, Jack Foster, both for the North. And 46 Maverick. Keith Painter gets turned aside. That's a good scalp for the North to claim. He's one of the South's top drivers in the meantime. 751, Steve Thacker there being leaned on towards the Armco. A spin in the background. Worsty goes around. Steve Thacker gets his own man as well. That's shoving. Gary Shovelton in 319. The white Ford Capri heads across the road. In the meantime there, 007 Ian Laws and 30 Steve Mays come along. Paul Ashley steams into the back of the red Capri, and up the back there goes Ian Laws in 007. The plan didn't quite work for the North. They get rid of one of the South drivers, they get rid of one of their own drivers as well. There you can see it was the shot on Steve Mays into Ian Law's car. He goes, and both of them then head off the circuit. But the real casualty there, stranded on the dirt bank, is Ian Laws. Meantime, the rest carry on there. 342 being spun aside, that's James Stone. Jack Foster gets rid of him. And 185, Paul King in trouble. 213, Mark Watkins, local driver for the North, gets rid of him. King about to rejoin, waits for a gap in the traffic. Whoa, look at that! Rated T-bone from Shovey for the North, and he gets blitzed as well by Maverick on the back of the Capri. Maverick's gagging for a shot as well. Come on, who's going to get rid of the Southern car? There, 269 ploughs into him. Dean French steams into the back of him. John Ailes, 300, reversing across the road. More drama there for 425, smashed into the parked cars. Pat McPhillamy, that's ripped out the rear suspension on the Cortina. He's going no further. Look at this, fantastic blitz there by Gary Murrell. Rated shot right on the back of the Cortina. Look at the replay. Absolutely annihilates the Cortina, and that is a fantastic shot. Gary Murrell carries on his merry way. Pat McPhillamy now tries to put his teeth back in. The car is not going to go any further at all, as in the meantime Mark Watkins there lets Mush Sonny Sherwood get up alongside him. And Sherwood now gets a shot from Jonathan Atkinson into the fence. He follows him in. Great shot by 340 Jonathan Atkinson, and he's a target now because Jimbo James Dodge attacks him. Dear oh dear. Now, who's coming out on top? I think the South have got more running at the moment, just about. Jonathan Atkinson carries on in 340. There are more red cars, I think, circulating just there. Number 40, Ian Kitchen, puts in a shot on Phil Powell. In the meantime, John Atkinson's about to be spun out there by Bubblegum, Dominic Gumbleton. And the Wharton driver, Jonathan Atkinson, tries to rejoin. In the meantime there, 342 going no further. Another wrecking train brewing up here. Steaming into the back there is Bubblegum. He's gagging for a shot as well. Where's the Northern car? There it is. Another steam. Jonathan Atkinson goes in on the back of Gumbleton. He'd gone in on Dean French. In the middle of all of that was James Stone in 342. It's going to be a win for the South, though. 702. James Dodge comes through. It hasn't finished yet, though. Look at that. Fantastic. Ian Kitching latching onto Steve Mays, straddling the car briefly. The steam and smoke is about to settle. There's a wheel there off somebody's car rolling along all on its own. The winner there, 702. James Dodge, trying to get himself now back to a place of safety. And remember that there is this safe area, so it's in the team's best interest to get their cars as close to the pit gate as they can. Otherwise, they lose points. There are a lot of Southern cars stranded around the circuit. You also get points docked off if you contravene the rules, such as they are, for going the wrong way, for example. And the points at the end of that second race, the South have 220, the North have 210. And although it might be a pretty serious battle, you can see that the drivers do enjoy it, even if they're on rival sides. So now it's time for the Tanks, their first race, and it's about to get underway. These are the biggest cars in Civil War, and they provide the biggest accidents. 284, Andy Edwards, the first casualty. Dave Ball spins aside in 617. In the background there, somebody else going off. Another of the Northern cars, Winky for 690, and look at this! That's half the field already. Now who's in the middle of all of that? 401 nearest us, Psycho Steve Hemmings, another car being followed in the background there. 149, Martin Ford is in there somewhere. Richard Flockton's in for the South. 345, Nick Souter's involved. And that is pretty much the track blocked. You can just about squeeze through on the inside there. The rules of banger racing say that you're meant to forge your way through a pilot rather than go round it. Certainly you can't go on the infield to avoid it, but the race being stopped to clear that blockage to help drivers out of their cars. And now we're going to get underway once again. 4 Southern cars at the front, led by 162 Brett Ellicott, a very quick driver indeed, and he's going to take some stopping in this race. And 149 Martin Ford is spun around, takes a shot there from the North. In the background, Mark Holdsworth, former world champion, latching onto the back there of 274 Reuben Simmons. More carnage there. 294 Nigel Ashley in the Volvo 760 Estate getting involved and now turned aside as well. As long as he can keep going, though, that's important for the North. They've got to get points. He's heading, though, for the centre. There is Ruben Simmons in the older Volvo, the 240 Estate, and he's about to try and get a shot in on Psycho. That's Steve Hemmings in 401. The man with the biggest fin plate in Bangor Racing, and you can see there's the shot. That should turn 401 aside. It does now. Can he get it back in the race before a Southern car hits him head on? Tries to get out of the way. Steve Hemmings then reversing his way around the East Bend. In the meantime, the rest of them battle their way around. Big shot there. Ruben Simmons goes in on his own man. Martin Ford's car is absolutely annihilated. Ruben Simmons then, he's finished off, I think, by Mark Holdsworth. Yes, he is. Holdsworth blitzes him. In the meantime, the rest come across the line. 4-8 there. That's Richard Regan being blitzed, first of all, by Pete Richardson, and then right into him goes Wayne French in the Jaguar XJS in number 60. And 4-8 is finished, as you can see. The car stranded in the middle of the road. The rest carry on. 690 there. That's Pete Richardson getting turned around. 401. Steve Hemmings is still going. He's had a lot of attention in this. He's having more of it as well. 162. Brett Ellicott, the race leader, gets rid of him. It is going a little bit better, though, this at the moment for the North. 541. Luke Parfitt tries to get a shot in on 401. Just misses him despite chasing him onto the infield. On go the rest. 294 there. Trying to rejoin is Nigel Ashley in the Volvo. The race leader, Brett Ellicott, there goes down that back straight. It's going to be a win for him as they come through. Now, how's this going to affect the points? It's still looking good for the South as Steve Hemmings spins out of the way. Brett Ellicott wins for the South, and that's going to give them now 360 points and the 250 of the North.
Well, I'm joined now by our Southern General. So we've had one heat from all of our cars so far. How do you think it's going for the South so far?
Not bad at all. We started off well. There's a bit of confusion over the penalty points. We're having to have eyes on the back of our heads and check who's doing wrong, etc., because we've been quite tight on that this year. But each of the three classes have had one heat, and we're pretty pleased so far.
And you're determined to win this year. You haven't won for 2 years. That could be the North's golden hat-trick here this year.
It'd be nice to do it third time lucky. I mean, the South has always been a stronghold of Bangor racing in this country, but in the last few years, the Northern and Midland scene has really come up, and that's probably why they've won it the last 2 years. But we think we've got our best chance yet to try and clinch it this year.
And he might be right. It's certainly the toughest Southern squad we've ever had, but don't rule out the North under the generalship of Stu Kersley. And the second race for the Metros then is underway, and this is the race really where the North needs a good haul of points to get back in the hunt. Traditionally, they are very strong in this class of racing. 247 there getting turned aside. That's Martin Butts. 221 Gary Allsop finishes him off. Jason Mitchell comes along, blitzes the back of 247. Another one goes off as well. Grant Simpson in 418 is walled there. 247 gets more damage, this time from Alan Morfitt in 684. And in the Metros, certainly the North doing a good job at the moment. 247 trying to trap 684 and set him up from a shot from his teammate, but he gets a shot from the North instead. On they come. 221 Gary Allsop there. There's another Northern car up against the fence there. We've got 1 over, 2 over in fact there. Ken Angel is one of them in 265. 45 Anthony Croshaw is the other. 407 Jason Mitchell gets turned around by James Bully. Then Scott Molan hits him. Good T-bone there on 407, and that's Brian Webb's Metro, or what's left of it, and it's still going. He's got the right attitude here. Don't quit until the car's dead. If he can get points, that's good for the South, but he's a sitting target now for the North, and there, another fantastic shot, and it's Will Walmsley again. Somehow, look, they managed to straighten out the back of Walmsley's car, and a great shot there on the back of Brian Webb. 79 Adrian Clifton, steamed by Wayne Morfitt there. 492 Aaron Cornish gets all crossed up, spins himself around. Now he's also ready for a shot unless he can get out of the way. 148 Ian Redden gets a shot too as he goes across the line. Another crab-like Metro. And 363 James Bully there sorts out the North. Ian Redden makes his way down the back straight. Remarkably quick car that, despite the fact there's very little of the right rear corner left. Now he gets very sideways indeed. He's facing the oncoming traffic now. Can he get back in the race? 14 Will Walmsley Steve there by James Bully. Into Ian Redden's car they go. James Bully tries to sort himself out. Ian Redden tries to stop him. That's it. Try and pinch him up against the Armco. Can't quite do it though. James Bully gets away for the South. Looks like it could well be a Southern win in this. Let's see. James Bully now waiting for a shot. He does indeed get some attention. Dan Lucas sorts him out. Tries to fire him off into the Armco. James Bully gets back on and now should get finished off. Yes, he does. Into the Armco. So the second race for the Metros at an end. Anthony Croshaw's car there needing to be righted. The damage not that severe, but that a very good race for the North. The top 4 places, indeed the only 4 point-scoring places taken by the North, and that now means that the North leads on 470 points to the 330 of the South, and that ought to wipe the smile from Steve Swan's face. The Southern General now is on the defensive. Trouble though for the North in the next race. George Coates there unable to get onto the track in time. The pit gate is closed. He gets out of the car. And he's not at all happy about this. Sprints up the stairs there to the race control building where Inca Race promoter Mark Bond, and there he is, he's ready to receive him. I want to go and race, says Hoagie. You can't, says Mark Bond. We've given you a warning of 5 minutes to go before the race and the gate's closed. That's it. So, race 5, heat 2 for the infantry, about to get underway. Mark Burbridge and Paul Coker for the south of the North on the front of the grid. Adam Gibbons spun aside, and so too is number 5, Mark Kelly there for the south. On the back straight there, 46, Keith Painter, Little Maverick being sorted out, and John Healy is spun as well. 224, Steve Williams goes aside. Bang, takes a shot over the front wheel there from Mark Watkins, and he's also a sitting target. He's bound to get blitzed in a minute as 551 Simon Want is done head on by Adam Gibbons there. Graham Haywood into the fence, and a big shot on 53 as well. That was Phil Stevens. A shot is now applied to 224. More steam in. John Healy there getting followed in by 213 Mark Watkins, and Dale Hughes on the back of him as well. It was 28 Gary Tingle, I think, that steamed into 53 Phil Stevens to start all of that. And now the wrecking train builds up. 274 Paul Coker's car gets involved. 347 battles on. There's one coming off the infield there. I think it might have been Jim O'Brien on Oppo on 75 there. 252 sets about him. That's Barry Sims. In the meantime, now you can see number 27 Dale Hughes being sorted out too. That was by 38 Alan Huckle. 347 Mark Burbridge on Oppo takes a head on from Alan Huckle for the North. Oh dear, now Alan Huckle, yeah, I was going to say he's waiting for a shot, and there it is. Keith Painter delivers it, and then he gets steamed as well by 110 Paul Latowski. It's just about even, I think, at the moment. Both the North and the South are in trouble here. Will Speak's car going no further. 27 Dale Hughes ploughs into him. Maverick bails out, don't blame him at all. The rated shot he did on Alan Huckle. He also got one back for his pains. On Oppo there, Paul Latowski goes in. That's going to lose him points though, because he was going in the wrong direction. In the meantime, 823 there. Mick Murrell comes through. He's leading. He's going to win as Paul Coker now comes across the infield. There's the checkered flag though. It's another win for the South. And this time, Mick Murrell, the driver. 67 Mark Whittaker's car there, trying to get itself out of the carnage and back to somewhere safe. But now, of course, the team's needing to get their cars back to that safe area and back to the pit so more work can be done on them. One of the Northern cars there needing to be pushed out of the way. And the Northern General, Stu Kersley on the left, giving it all the grace of a baby gazelle with gout. Gets the car moving. That should head back to the centre. And in the meantime there, Dave King, 206, his car, which isn't too badly damaged, being pushed out of the way. And we're back underway with the next race, though, this for the tanks. Away they go then. Not many of them have found the green flag, and you can see why, because already there's a big pile-up taking place over on the West Bend. Oh dear, 877 Gary Staples involved in that. More ploughing, including John Kavanagh there in the Caddy Fleetwood limo. Heading towards us for the North, 83 Lloyd Isherwood, and he's about to find the Armco. He gets a shot from the South on the back corner. Clatters his way into the Armco on Oppo there. You've got 136 Clyde Williams. He avoids 409 Carl Pearce, but he's about to set about the Northern cars, and he does so. That might cost the South points, of course. You're not meant to go on opposite direction to the racing until you get to the DD at the end of the day. 77 Darren Austin is spun aside. Spiky Tim Dre, you saw to the side of the road there. Nigel Ashley turns aside Jason Thompson for the South. That's Andy Holmes, Psycho, the Stickbridge man in 09. And he's about to try and find a shot there. There he does deliver the shot on 364 Sean Winchester. He set himself up though and gets absolutely blitzed there by 764 Steve Spall. More Southern cars plough in. 345 Nick Sauter goes in there. Anthony Croshaw in 45 comes through. And again, there's lots of red here. Indeed, I think we're going to have a red flag in a minute too. Yes, we are. There's a driver there in trouble. Kevin Utting it is in 548. But more red cars are circulating. There for the South, of course. And most of them in a state of disrepair by the side of the road. There is Psycho, Andy Holmes trying to get what's left of the Jaguar back in the race. The North are suffering though. The South are doing well once more in the tanks. So Psycho limps towards the restart, and the restart underway now. 282 there. Lee Treasurer gets well blitzed by Dave Vincent, and he's also set up for a shot. Steve Spall back in the action. Dave Vincent was leading, and now the car is 2 feet shorter at either end, and Steve Spall's going to win this. No argument about it now. He's just about the only man, I think, still going. Through he comes then. Dave Vincent had no option there but to steam into the back of Lee Treasurer to try and open up a gap through the traffic. And then, as he was delayed, he got blitzed by Steve Spall. Mick Murrell is still going as well in 823. That's meant to be red, that car, by the way. Don't worry about it too much. It's going to be a 1-2 for the South, and that's going to be good news for them. They're back in the hunt, and the North struggling. Steve Spall wins then. Mick Murrell come through. It's a South 1-2. They're the only two cars to finish. And there is carnage right the way around Hensford Hills Raceway. The Civil War for 2002 is just as heavy as ever. And at the moment, it looks as though the South might have the advantage. They do. A big advantage. Now by 200 points. The North are in trouble.
Well, the North have just been docked a lot of points. So, Klitsch, what do you think about that then?
It's not good, is it? Not good at all. But we'll come back during the rest of the day. We'll beat them. We beat them twice, you know. We're going to do it again, no problem.
And this could be, you could be picking up a golden hat-trick trophy here today. So, do you really think you're going to do it?
I hope so, because the guy who's in charge will be crying if we don't.
And the South are looking quite strong out there at the moment, though, aren't they?
Absolutely. They've got some top banger drivers, and yeah, I think they're a bit of an upset today. I think we thought we'd do better in the overs, and to be fair, they've come and give us a good run for our money.
So will there be words with the troops then?
Everybody's going to go out and smash them up and get smashed up. That's what it's all about.
And you're getting your boys all revved up here in the background?
Yeah, well, they ain't got one of them cranes. You've got to get some helping. But you need the big blokes. That's where it's good.
It is all pretty mad here today, isn't it, though?
Absolutely, but you see a lot of people here, wonderful people, some of the best people around, and they'll always help you out and get on with it and have some fun.
Steve, we're halfway through the war, and you've just had a piece of very good news.
We have. We sort of slipped on the second infantry and metro heat. We've done very well out of the tanks second heat, and at the moment the scores are, with penalties taken off, 70 to the North and 270 to us. But it's still early days, anything can happen. There's double points on the finals and that, so it's still anyone's battle right now.
Why were the North docked so many points in that last heat?
Well, yeah, they were. There was 11 of their cars not got to the safety area, so they lost 30 points a car for every car that didn't get to the safety area. But on penalties, the South and the North were docked the equal amount for that race.
Do you really believe now that the South can do this?
I feel better than I did 2 races ago, but anything can happen. I mean, this is banger racing. You can't underestimate the side that's losing right now. It could have been us. They can fight back big time and, you know, come back to me in another 2 or 3 races and my smile might be the other way up.
Well, don't go away because there's lots more to come after the break. Now, each army has chosen the very best banger drivers in the world to race here today. So who's going to be, the North or the South? Let's find out.
At the moment, the South leads by 200 points, but Ken Angel for the South gets spun aside. We're back to the Metros, the final for them, and this is where the North has got to do well. It's got to score points. You get more points for the finals than you did for the earlier 2 races, and as you can see, there are Metros now right the way across the raceway. We'll try and work out in a moment who's leading us in the meantime. 59, Brian Haywood, vastly experienced man, gets turned aside. Marcus Goldsmith goes in on him as James Bully there in 363 is knocked aside by Lee Dimmick. James Bully now waits for a gap in the traffic as in the meantime there Wayne Morfitt disposes of 418 Grant Simpson. But we have a red flag being waved, the race being stopped. The restart underway and there, big shot. John Broad blitzed by Wayne Morfitt. Wayne Morfitt then gets turned aside. 688 then for the North, not going anywhere at the moment. Can he get back into the race? The North needs the points. No, Wayne Morfitt bails out. John Broad on Oppo, that's going to cost them points as he sets about 590 Lee Dimmick's car there. You can see the damage to the back of 57. That's the leader though, 236 Andy Robinson. He's about to try and have a go at John Broad. There's not much bodywork to attack. He knocks him aside and then John Broad almost attacked by his own man. 74 Mark Shaw limping through in what's left of the Metro. There's John Broad still limping around and Mark Shaw gets up enough speed just to blitz the back of him. That should now have finished off Basher Broad once and for all. 74 Mark Shaw limps across the line. James Bully is closing fast and he steams into the back of him. 74 now turned aside. Carries on though as long as that car can keep going and try and get points. Remember, that's the main thing here. Number 14, Will Walmsley still going. That car's taken plenty of punishment today. And Will Walmsley has become a real find for the North and there steams in on Grant Simpson. Rated shot there on the back of the Southern Metro. There's the replay of it. 418 had already set about 74 Mark Shaw and then gets a return blitz for his page. Look at Will Walmsley there. The cars get airborne briefly. Rated shot there on the back of 418. James Bullock comes off the centre green and goes for the driver's door there of the leader Andy Robinson. A real lossy move that. Not only is it dangerous, it's against the regulations and it's a pretty pathetic way of trying to stop the leader. 363, James Bullock continues. 236, Andy Robinson though tries to carry on. 265 Ken Angel also going on Oppo. He'll get docked points for that. Andy Robinson carries on. He takes the win, and James Bully once again comes off the centre to try and stop him. The race is over. He's going for the driver's door again. That is absolutely pathetic to try and do that. If a driver's going to get hurt, it's going to be because he's done in the driver's door. By accident, maybe, it's not too bad. But the way that James Bully is behaving at the moment to do it deliberately is out of order, and one would hope that he's going to get loaded up for this. Andy Robinson there, the race winner, trying to get away, I think, from James Bully. He doesn't get another shot, but here comes James Bully once again. This time James Bully heads for the centre. Andy Robinson has a go at him. Well, you're not meant to carry on after the race is finished like this. You can perhaps understand the frustration on Andy Robinson's part, having had 2 shots now in that driver's door. Certainly James Bully shouldn't have been behaving like that, but both of them are at fault now for doing this after the red flags. Andy Robinson, though, wins for the North, and another good haul of points here to try and get them back in the hunt. The North now have 250, the South 210, because in that race the South scored minus 60, thanks in part to James Bully. The final then for the infantry, and this is going to be a very heavy race indeed. The green flag is waved, away they go as 318 Wilf Speak there, sets about 185 Paul King. Already a spin there onto the centre for Dominic Gumbleton in 190, Shovey in 319, spins around. Phil Waskin in 37 gets turned aside as well, and a good shot there, look. The North might just have the advantage at the moment, let's see. Well, maybe not. 340 Jonathan Atkinson has been turned aside. 196 also stationary there for the North. On come the rest of them. 206 Dave King, former English champion, makes his way now up over the line. The light fading fast to Hensford. The rest of them battle their way through. 207 there, about to get a shot, I think. Yep, for the South, John Randall turned around. Finds himself facing the wrong way. 751 Steve Thacker coming back off the centre. There's a car, I think, with a wheel missing there for the North. Still going, getting a good shot in on 207. It was Mark Watkins in 213. A good shot there then to try and finish off 207. 27 Dale Hughes turned round by Steve Thacker in 751. The rest carry on. Jonathan Atkinson there gets his own man. Stops Mark Whittaker in 67. Good idea, Jay. Didn't quite work, did it? Wrong coloured car. 51 John Wollstonecroft's car now getting steam there. Worsty going no further in this race. Steam and smoke continues to rise around Hensford, and it still looks a pretty equal split at the moment between the North and the South as 22 George Coates, the Scotsman, is spun round. Tries to rejoin as 206 there. Dave King is attacked by 801 Jack Foster. Kingy spins, and another spin as well for 342 for the South. 2 more Southern cars then eliminated. 37 and 36 go through. Joe Baxter is 36. 37 is Phil Waskett. Baxter finds the wall, and 53 Phil Stevens finds him, and he finds Worcester's car as well. You're not meant to hit a dead car, but that's what happens. He's also trapped Joe Baxter in there. Joe Baxter in 36 trying to rejoin. That's Paul Coker going backwards. McWibbs takes a shot there from Dale Hughes. John Wibbly now sets about the dead 702 car of James Dodge. There's more Southern cars pouring through. 53 there. Phil Stevens attacked this time by Joe Baxter. That sort of evens that out from the West Bend contretemps they had a little while ago. The rest carry on though. 27 there. Dale Hughes comes through. He attacks 274 Paul Coker. Down the back straight go the rest. 27 is shunted aside now by 104 Mick Siddles, and 801 there. That's Jack Foster gets in on the back end of all of that as well. 199 Phil Powell about to be sorted out now by Joe Baxter, who's going great guns here. 801 leads for the North. There are very few Southern cars still going. 199 there. Phil Powell back in the race, heading now for the sanctuary of the centre green, except he still can't get away from the North. 295 Graham Hayward, the Buxton man, finds him, and so does Shovey in 319. And that looks like it has now finished off the South. Everywhere you look, there's a Northern car scoring points here. It's going to be a win for 801 Jack Foster, and this is great news for the North, because with a lack of points scored by the South, and they're going to lose points as well for cars being outside the safe area and for going on Oppo, that means that as the North come through now to take the top 4 places, the North has 620 points, and the Shandy Drinkers are down to 180. Already the Tanks final then has had plenty of carnage. John Kavanagh's caddy Fleetwood going no further. There is 251 Adrian Phillips in the Jensen Interceptor, or what's left of it, carrying on. 764 Steve Spall there trying to rejoin. And on come the rest of them now. The North has the advantage here, but it needs to consolidate that. It can't afford to get complacent, and the South have got to fight back. 08 Mick Holmes, brother of Andy, he gets turned aside, another of the Stinkbridge drivers, and then gets a good shot over the front wheel there by 136 Clyde Williams. Number 60 Wayne French steaming in there in the XJS, and number 60 there Big Kev, Kevin Camden getting all crossed up. Mark Holdsworth sets about him, then David Holmes tries to finish him off as well. The Bushwhacker in 167, another of the Northern cars. 251 there, Adrian Phillips under pressure. Luke Parfitt in 5.41 there, turns around 2.85. Darren Lewis sets him up for a T-bone, and Steve Spall delivers it. Adrian Phillips now being attacked by Mark Harding in 5.84. The Jensen Interceptor has been well and truly intercepted, and that's Kev Camden there, who's been finished off this time in a great shot there by 1.67. David Holmes. Big Kev's car, the Toyota Crown, well blitzed now. And I think Kev Camden's a bit shaken by all of that. It was a monster hit there. The yellow flags are out. Mark Holdsworth goes through. Yeah, waved yellows. The race being suspended to let Kev Camden out of the car. And it may be, in fact, an early red flag to this race as well. Yes, it is. Out come the Reds. Kev Camden about to be helped out of the car. It was a fantastic shot by David Holmes. And it hasn't helped the South one little bit. The South 300 points behind the North. And it looks now as though the Northern squad, hooray, is going to win for the 3rd year in a row.
Well, I'm joined now by a gentleman from the North. Well, you said you were going to smash them to bits. You certainly have been doing that, and you've got a good clear lead right now.
Yeah, we did really well in the unders, much to our surprise, to be perfectly honest. They have got a brilliant team. I think the lads pulled it from nowhere, and we did really, really well. And it is a team event, you know. Not everybody's as quick as one another, but the others are taking out the cars. So, as you can see, everybody's had a wonderful day, and hopefully we're going to do well in the DDs.
So the first of the DDs, the Destruction Derbies, gets underway. And what do you need to know about this? Well, the last car moving wins. You can go in any direction you want, and that's about it, really. The Metros then out first there in 6.47 is Danny Verrills for the South. He's on his own at the moment. Not for long, though. Here comes the Northern Artillery now to try and stop him in his tracks. We've got more Northern Metros going than Southern ones, but I think that 2.21 Gary Allsop's about to try and finish off 6.47. Puts him into the wall, and then Lee Dimmick in 5.90 blitzes 6.47. Any more red Metros still going? If the North can win this, I think they've won outright. James Bully comes along, misses everybody. He's been wrecking all day, bit of rodding there, but now he sets about 2.21. That's Gary Allsop, gets him out of the way. Remember, James Bully had that couple of incidents with Andy Robinson in the Metros final when he attacked him in the driver's door. Makes his way now through the West Bend, up across the line. Right, now where are the Northern cars while we're watching James Bully? He's out on his own. The idea is, of course, that you try and stop the white ones, James, but at the moment, nobody is anywhere near him. 3.63, James Bully now down the back straight. Jason Mitchell, you saw in 4.07 for the North. And James Bully about to be done head-on, I think, coming through the West Bend. Turns his way round, turns out of it, and gets done in the door. Oh, dear. 6.88, Wayne Morfitt stops him. Well, that's it. James Bully is going no further. I think Wayne Morfitt aimed for the head-on there. James Bully turned out of it and got a shot in the door. Well, now he knows how Andy Robinson felt. Gets another shot there. The yellow flags come out. James Bully has been rather shaken by all of that. 4.07 steams in as well. Jason Mitchell. So the race being stopped. And although it should be a win for the North, the steward of the meeting has decided that the race is declared null and void. So no points to anybody. And that, I suspect, he will lay to the fact that the shot was in the driver's door. But now, as James Bully is helped away, he sort of knows how Andy Robinson might have felt a bit earlier on. So, null and void for the Metros DD, and that means that this, the Infantry Demolition Derby, has got to be won by the South. If the North can win this, they've won Civil War 3, and they've won the Civil War for the 3rd year running. Let's see. 2.13, Mark Watkins there. The car can't go that quickly, but it can at least try and stop a Southern car, and that is the aim here. Good shot there on the back of 2.13, Mark Watkins. And that, I think, has just about finished off 2.13 once and for all. 1.18 there, making his way across the centre. That's Jason Anslow in the Mark III Cortina. He's about to get a shot there from 3.80, Trevor Wright. Mark Watkins, Nissan Bluebird, sitting stricken now by the side of the road. 3.60 is stopped, and so is 1.18. 2.52 comes along now for the South. Barry Sim, he takes a shot off 2.93, Paul Ashley. 3.80 there, Trevor Wright being caught up in all of that. Great shot there by Graham Haywood. Havoc, as he's known, living up to his name. And there, 3.80, that is Trevor Wright, and he's still going for the South. It's the last car that moves that gets the points. He takes a shot there in on the Northern car, number 22. That's George Coates Capri. 37, Phil Woskett comes across the line, chasing after 2.25, Richard Edmonds. And Richard Edmonds now, just looking around, I think I'm right in saying, yeah, he's the last Southern driver now still running. Not for much longer. 37, Phil Woskett sets about him. But 2.25, Richie Edmonds has not given up yet. Wait for the North, here comes Havoc. 2.95, Graham Haywood. And you can see being fairly clever about all of this, rather than just aiming at the car, aims for the suspension or the mechanical bits, a shot over the front wheel to try and stop the car as effectively as possible. Now Phil Woskett turns him back onto the circuit. spins him round. The track itself very, very slippery indeed now, but Richard Edmonds is still going. It's a very well built Ford Capri, that. Goes the wrong way. He can do it in the Destruction Derby. He's on Oppo at the moment. Now, is he going to be able to do anything now to stop the North? No, he's not. Havoc comes off, T-bones in from the centre. Phil Woskett sets about him, a shot over the rear wheel as well. Has that done it for 225? Can he move? Can he go? Yes, he can. Great reception from the crowd. Even the Northern fans cheering for this because it's a great show of determination. You don't quit until the car's dead, and he is still going. Graham Haywood and Phil Woskett, the two Northern drivers, setting about him. 37, Phil Woskett, there 295. Graham, Havoc, Haywood, and they are going to win the DD for the North, and that means that Civil War 3 is won by the Northern team. They're going to finish it with a head-on. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. There it is. Another rated head-on. Graham Haywood's car is finished. Phil Woskett then wins the DD. But more importantly, the North have beaten the Shandy Drinkers for a third year running. The Tanks DD now then to end proceedings at Civil War 3. There, number 60 in the Jaguar XJS is Wayne French. Already the South in trouble. Steve Spall getting out of his car. 4 to 8 there. Richard Regan, I think, is about to be set about. Yes, he is, by Mark Holdsworth, who steams into the side of 4 to 8 and T-bones him. Well, the North don't have to win this. They've won the contest overall, but they still want to prove who is top dog in Bangor racing. 5-4-1. Luke Parfitt there, the track star man, being set about by Mark Holdsworth, who gives him a head on. Holdsworth then gets T-boned there by 428 Richard Regan. Mark Holdsworth, though, is not going to give up. One of the North, indeed one of the country's top Bangor drivers. Richard Regan tries to get away. Mark Holdsworth's very tatty Jag now chases after him. Now, who's got the pace here? Are we going to see a Northern car or a Southern car win the final race of Civil War 3? Despite the damage, 4 to 8 Richard Regan is still going pretty quickly here. Luke Parfitt's in this as well, somewhere in 5-4-1. Grumpy tries to spin himself around. He can't do it. Where's Mark Holdsworth in relation of all of this? Luke Parfitt sets himself up to try and take a shot on number 6, Mark Holdsworth. Didn't have any pace to deliver it, though. Head on between Holdsworth and Richard Regan. That looks as though it snapped the Jag of Mark Holdsworth. Is he going to be able to rejoin from that? Let's see. He's going no further. 5-4-1 goes for a T-bone on him here. Another shot on Mark Holdsworth. And that's it, I fear. Mark Holdsworth now is done. 5-4-1. Luke Parfitt then for the South wins the Tanks DD. But the North has won Civil War once again. Just to be sure that 5-4-1 wins the DD. A final head-on number 6, Mark Holdsworth. There is the checkered flag. Civil War 3 is at an end, but it's a win for the North. Once again, they've done it. The Northern squad under the command of that trencherman, Stuart Kersley.
Congratulations, you must be absolutely delighted that you've taken out the 3rd year in a row.
It's been a difficult day, and again, you know, every year I say this all the time, the drivers are just superb. The effort, the total commitment, you can't beat them.
There was a majestic performance of teamwork out there today as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, again, you know, first couple of heats, things weren't looking so good. We were getting a couple of cars written off and what have you. But everybody worked together in the pits. We turned it around in the finals and the DDs. Job's a good one.
But I now declare Civil War 3 well and truly over. Our congratulations go to the Northern team, who have scored their 3rd consecutive victory, and commiserations too to the Southern team, who certainly fought a hard battle here today. But that's all we have time for today. I hope you enjoyed the programme, and it now leaves me to hand the trophy over to the General of the Northern team. Congratulations.
Thank you.